again, we'll just have another quick listen to this one. If you have a look up at the top end of our spectrum analyzer, you'll see we do actually have quite a bit more high frequency content than what we were getting with the alternate Calypso mix, which is one of the reasons why we're getting a bit more of a cleaner sound out of Live's mix engine, as I mentioned. So let's get some effects on that one and we'll see what we can do for the sound. Again, we're going to go for a bit of an EQ straight up, just to help balance out the tone of the sound, as well as applying a few other plugins just to get it nice and big, and then we'll get it maximized and get the sound to come up to the level we're after. So I'll just play another section of that track. So we've just brought out some more of the bass, just pulled out some of the lower mid-range stuff there, and we're just bringing out some of the more airy stuff and some of the articulation around the top end. So just helping to clean it up that little bit. The next thing we're going to apply to this is a copy of Isotope Ozone. Ozone has some really good features built in that are quite good, especially when you're working with airy, spacious stuff such as what we've got here. And we're just going to use two different modules of Ozone on this particular track, the first of which is the mastering reverb, and the second of which is our multiband harmonic exciter. So the reason I'm going with Ozone for these is because, unlike pretty much any plugin I've ever seen, Ozone actually allows you to work in mid-side mode and to affect the middle of the stereo spectrum separately to the sides, which can give you quite a lot of control over the sound. So, for example, in the case of the reverb, we're going to be putting more reverb onto the sides than we are onto the middle. This will help to keep the middle nice and punchy and in your face, while just adding that nice sense of space and depth to the sides of the mix. So we're just going to select our mids. We're going to bring our room size down for our mids, as well as bringing our room dampening up. And we're just going to add a tiny little bit of the wet signal in there. Whereas with our sides, we're going to leave the room size all the way up. We're going to reduce our room dampening to get more high frequency content in there. And we're going to add more reverb to the sides. So if we switch between those, there's our settings for the mids, there's our settings for the sides. This is just a little bit of a rough preset just to get us started, so we may modify this more as we listen to it. One of the other things that we want to do, just as with the reverb that we applied to the last track, is we want to make sure we're not getting too many bass frequencies in there. So our little box up here allows us to select which frequencies are actually going into the reverb. At the moment, we've got 117 Hz to 7 kHz, which is being affected. So we might even bring that upper end up a little higher, as we do have a lot of high-end detail, which could work well with the reverb in this track. So we'll have a bit of a listen to that. If we turn that reverb off, and then we'll bring it back in. As you can hear, it's just adding that nice little bit of shimmer to the different frequencies in there. So we can also just have a listen to our mids and our sides. So this is just the middle of the stereo image. And this is just the sides. And when you bring those together,